Shabbat Shalom, Kol Halal, Yahweh Shem Yahshua, Shem Kadosh. Double honors to the elder apostles and elder bishops of GMS, including the elders who came before them and taught us the truth. Shabbat Shalom. Salutations to all the brothers out pushing the word of truth and its sincerity, the hope of the light, Tabernacle of David. All right, this is a Day of Atonement, right, and we're fasting. And the other things and sacrifices that go along with this day. So, Shabbat Shalom to all of you. I just wanted to touch lightly on Gad, the Gadites that went off up there in Canada and launched a mini Nat Turner up there, a little uprising of sorts. And of course, you know, I don't think they've been apprehended or caught or whatever yet. But I just thought I should touch on it real quick. So we'll start right here. Genesis 49 and 19. Gad. A troop shall overcome him, but he shall overcome at the last. What is the last? In these last days. We're in these last days. Is this a sign? Okay, what did Gad do? Gad didn't take firearms, which I'm sure there's plenty of firearms up in Canada, right? Or the northern part of North America, or the Americas, if you will. Everybody's got guns in Canada, all right, for hunting or whatever. These Gadites used knives, so they say, allegedly, all right? And they allegedly used knives, which goes into the sword, does it not? All right, so we're going to go here, IBT times .sg. It's just a random site that I went to because wherever you go right now, this happened yesterday, I believe. Okay, wherever you go, they're only going to give you their version. If I go here, like what did I type in? Cree Indians, which they're from the Cree tribe, I believe. Stabbing spree in Canada. All right, and all you get is these different news channels. WJBF News, Seattle News, KSLNE News Radio, like KSL News Radio. Okay, so they're on script. Okay, these people are on script. I couldn't find one alternative or an independent voice on the matter, which means that they're controlling the narrative for what you want to know. Why did these Gadites go on a so-called stabbing or mass stabbing spree? Why are they painting it like this? Okay. Can we get any independent, theories on the matter? Okay, Reuters, CBS News. Everybody's reporting on it, but nobody that's independent. New York Times, Reuters, CNN, Al Jazeera, The Guardian, all the usual suspect, Washington Post, and they're all saying that they're on script, right? Anyway, so I found this, and we'll read. Who are Canada's First Nations? Indigenous community in grief as mass stabbing kills 10. All right, Canada is hunting for the suspects after a stabbing spree left 10 people. So for them to be using knives or swords, if you will, In the spirit, that says a whole lot. Okay, here you got these Gadites. They didn't use guns. Okay, they went old school on that ass. Is this a sign? All right, and who else is speaking words like this? The ghastly incident happened in a sparsely populated indigenous community. See that word in Indian community in central Saskatchewan province on Sunday. Now, what happened to the Gadites up there for years and years and years and years? Okay, they didn't just do it in their little community. They took that thing as far as they could go, and then they say that, oh well, they were stabbing random people. So they get to put their spin on it and tell their story. But what really happened? Are we ever going to find out, or we have to deal with, whatever is being spoon fed to us? Well, what we're going to do is we're going to filter this bullshit through the scriptures, starting here, Genesis 49. Gad, a troop shall overcome him, but he shall overcome at the last. Hey, well, we're in the last days, clearly. Is this the beginning of Gad rising up and overcoming? All right. The stabbings were reported at 13 locations. So after they stabbed up their little community, right, then they went abroad. 13 locations. The suspects have been identified as Damian Sanderson, 31, and Miles Sanderson. How old is Miles? Okay. Sounding like some Jakes. No? Damian Sanderson? When I first heard it, I'm like, that sounds like Judite. There has been no conclusive information about the victims of one of the deadliest mass killings in Canadian history. No conclusive information. The region where the stabbings took place, James Smith, whoever that is, Cree Nation, is an indigenous community where only about 3,000 people live. The details of the victims are only emerging, and the early reports indicate that the First Nation community members have been the victims, so they stabbed up some of their own, so they say. Some reports say killers had targeted their victims. Okay, some reports say they were targeted, and then they'll get into the random. So you can say whatever you want. Police have not given any motive for the attack. Of course not. They probably have been well informed, but they're not going to put it out so that Reuters and CNN and the Washington Post can put it out there. They're holding it very close to the vest. It appears that some of the victims may have been targeted and some may be random. So what are they doing? They're painting Gad as some savage wild animal, right? But wait a minute. What about the Trail of Tears? Okay. What about things that are just coming to light, like the schools and the what do you call those little things where the friars are up there? The what do you call that? The Franciscan monks and all of that. Where the hell did San Francisco get its name? Those little parishes and stuff, where all the bodies are burned in the Catholic school, or the bones of the children, all the way up there in Canada. All right? Those things are just coming to light right now. All the children, the bones of the children buried at the Catholic school, where those little outposts are. All right. So to speak to a motive would be extremely difficult at this point in time, said Rhonda Blackmore, commanding officer for the Saskatchewan RCMP. All right. Of course. Now you get to say what you think it is. Right? That paints Gad in a very dark light. But see, after years and years and years of oppression, oppression maketh a wise man mad. All right? Blackmore added that police got messages about the stabbings in First Nation community. Right, but they didn't, you got messages, but you didn't get no motive. Then more reports of attacks started coming in from the community, according to the USA Today. What? They're going to know about it right here, First Nation community, according to the USA Today. Okay, so whatever USA Today says is the news. Statement from First Nation community. The local First Nation community issued a statement after the massacre. See the words being used? What happened to Gad? Well, let's check the record. Let's go back to Genesis 49 again. Okay, here's the massacre. There's the massacre right there. Gad, a troop shall massacre him. Okay? All we got to do is type in Indian massacre and watch all of the old headlines come up. See, they brag about when they do shit like that, but they turn Gad into some sort of savage when he wants a little get back. All right? So I'm just kind of vamping on this. The statement hinted at the possibility, right, that the attack was drug related. See, they're going to put that out there real quick. What if they were just mad at Idumeans? All right, this is the destruction we face when harmful illegal drugs invade our community. Where did the harmful illegal drugs come from? Okay. Was it Xanax? Was it Percocet? Was it fentanyl? Where do those things come from? Okay? This is the destruction we face when harmful illegal drugs invade our community. The Federation of Sovereign Indigenous Nations, the body that represents 74 First Nations in Saskatchewan, said in a statement. Do you see how loaded this is? Federation of Sovereign Indigenous Nations, we're all on drugs. All Gadites are on drugs and alcohol. They've been destroyed. Hey, they were overcome. But they're going to overcome at the end. Calvin Sanderson, an elected leader, that's the same name, ain't it? Sanderson. An elected leader of the 3 First Nation communities in James Smith Cree Nation. See how they keep saying this over and over? Said the attack has traumatized the community. Everyone's been affected. They were our relatives, friends. Mostly, we're all related here. So it's pretty hard. It's pretty horrific. All right? And what says that they haven't been taken? Just this alone. Look at all of this coverage. Look at this. And how does Esau get in? Esau might have apprehended him early on, went out and killed a bunch more people and blamed it on Gad. Hey, never trust your enemy. Look at all of this. This is just yesterday. We don't know what happened, but we do know that Rupert Murdoch is all over it. Look at this. On and on and on, all saying the same thing. 2 suspects on the run after mass stabbing, after massacre. Look at this. Okay? You get my point? Let's look at this. Cree Indians in Canada stabbing with knives. I type this is YouTube. Here's what comes up. Here's the Gadites right here. Right? So they took down 10. So what? What happens when an Edomite walks into the church and starts shooting niggas dead after praying with them? Does that get as much demonization as this right here? No, they take him to McDonald's and feed him and then go put him away so nobody can touch him. Look at the crazy look on Esau. Look at Gad. You see this? Let's watch some of this bullshit so I can bear with me. Let's watch this one. Of course, there's a damn commercial. Commerce is all this is.
News coming in from Canada of multiple stabbings has been reported in Saskatchewan. Now, Canadian police have hunted for 2 suspects in a stabbing spree. 10 people have died and at least 15 others wounded in this particular incident. This has happened in a community which is considered to be sparsely populated and happened on Sunday. The stabbings across 13 crime scenes were among the deadliest mass killings in modern Canadian history and certain to reverberate really throughout the country, which is unaccustomed to bouts of mass violence, unlike neighboring United States. The information we have right now is that 2 suspects have been identified, but the cops are yet to, in fact, nab them. 10 people have died and 15 injured in the stabbing spree. We understand that the suspect in Canada's Saskatchewan went on the spree, attacking people left, right, and center, leading to 10 deaths and 15 injuries. One of the worst mass killings reported in Canada.
Okay, so what? Is Andrew Jackson on the currency? Let's see. You know where this is going. Is Andrew Jackson on a bill? Oh my goodness. Why Andrew Jackson was put on the $20 bill? What's another name for Andrew Jackson? What's his nickname? Look at all this. Indian removal, Trail of Tears. What's Andy Jackson's real name? You ain't gonna bring it out? See, right here. Andrew Jackson. And see, this ain't CNN or The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. Right? Let's look at some of the reasons why these Cree Indian Gadites might have gotten fed up. Right here, 2 years ago. Andrew Jackson, the Indian killer. What about that?
Good afternoon. My name is Harrison Bodden, and I'm doing a presentation on Andrew Jackson, the Indian killer.
Wait a minute. Andrew Jackson, what? The Indian killer. That's on the $20 bill. You see, he killed so many Indians. He has to do with the Trail of Tears. But what do? We glorify him. We put him on the $20 bill. But you go out, you kill 10 people, right? 8 of who are probably they're Gadites themselves. And what are you doing? You're making it seem like Andrew Jackson ain't killed nobody when his name is the Indian killer. And I had to search for it. And we had to find one little Edomite here who happened to be doing a book report, and he's bringing out the truth.
Biography. Andrew Jackson was born in the western frontier of the Carolinas, which was disputed at the time between South Carolina and North Carolina. But experts say he was born in current day South Carolina. However, there's still a dispute.
Can we get
both
to
states
the
claim
Indian
him
killing
like
part?
the native son. The area that he lived in had in 1824, he ran for the first time. There were 4
This is a
candidates, and
president.
Jackson received the highest number, which was 99.
He became the president of the United States.
So the main point about Jackson was that he was very strongly opposed to Native Americans.
I wonder why. He was so busy killing them and stealing their land, he could be the reincarnation of Christopher Columbus. No?
In eastern and western lands, just being in America. He was known as the Indian killer, and
What? He was known as what? Well, I didn't make that up out of my own mouth. Or is this a piece of American history and the reason why he's on the $20 bill?
Okay. He was known as the Indian killer, and the Indians called him Sharp Knife. Now,
Sharp what? Sharp knife. I'm gonna get one more. I mean, I could do this all day. I want more information to come out about why these Gadites did what they did. I'm gonna end it right here because I'm just getting more and more fed up. Right? Describe them as an inferior race. You see this? See this shit? Don't let me get into it. The real reason why these Gadites took knives and went out and started killing their own people is yet to be seen. Random people, I wonder who they were out there stabbing at. Okay? Now let's go back to the precepts. We're going to get one on the way out. What does Revelation say? What does Revelation 13 and 10 say? What if we can find a knife, sharp knife? Let's see what's going to happen to old sharp knife here. Old sharp knife is in the prophecies. Revelation 13 started at 9. If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity, Trail of Tears, shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sharp knife, the sword, Salakia, must be killed with the sword. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. Get ready for slavery, O Andy boy. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. What is a short sword called? It's called a knife. Here's the patience and the faith of the saints. We've been waiting patiently for this day. For what day? We've been waiting patiently for Slovakia. For Genesis. Genesis 49:19. Gad, a troop shall overcome him, but he shall overcome at the last. Hey, we're in the last days. Okay? All right. So with that, I just wanted to touch on that real quick. I'm watching for more information to come out. I don't think they have been caught. I don't know what word to use. But we shall see. All right. Hope that the elector edify you, brothers and sisters. With that, Shabbat Shalom.